Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit.
What it do? What it do? What it do? What's up, family? This is your brother Negro, enjoying this fine Friday evening here in the wonderful Motor City of Detroit. Oh yes, we are blessed to continue the test that keeps us stressed. Oh well, so swell. We are here to enjoy the fruits of our labor, the tenets of our personalities, and to discuss the current events, the insights, and perspectives of this interesting world we just so happen to traverse. And family, brother Incognito, in his whims and his wares, his little daily shills and his cares, just so happened to happen along a wonderful soul, a soul of wisdom, a soul of insight, and a soul of laughter. And so I imparted to extend the invitation to this colorful being of our consensual existence. And I wanted to bring him on, family, so he could delight us with the delivery of his distinctive adventures and escapades. So, family, without further ado, we would like to bring to you and to your heart and to your understanding a wonderful man of the world. It is Big Uncle G. What up, Uncle G?
I don't even know how to comment on that. I'm just a black man trying to be a man in America, man.
Well,
That's it.
that is quite a lot to do and quite a lot to be. So it is with our greatest of pleasure, privilege, and honor to have you with us today. And so we wanted to have you introduce yourself, give us some snippets of your birth, your life, your experience, and your wisdom. When did you come into the world, Big Uncle G?
Man, I came into the world March 21st, 1961, in the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C.
Do tell. Sounds like you have a birthday coming up shortly.
Yes, shortly, and then I'll be going back to D.C. to see my family. Not from Michigan. Been in Michigan for approximately close to 5 years. Learned a lot in Michigan.
Yeah, we are quite a studious and intellectual state. I
Yes, learned some things I didn't want to learn, but everything I needed to learn.
really.
Oh yeah.
Now, 5 years ago, you say, what brought you to our illustrious, yet at this particular time, freezing state?
The love of a beautiful thought.
Uh, say again, sir?
The love of a very beautiful thought.
A thought.
THOT,
Uh,
capital THOT. Yeah.
yes, sir. That hoe, what's that over there? You had the love of a that hoe over there. Wow, isn't
I
that
thought I
special?
had to. I thought I had to love. I loved the thought, but the thought didn't love me.
Oh, well, now we have to be distinct in the statement.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Big Uncle G was
Yeah.
head over heels for one
Yes.
of them ghetto things. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes. Mac and B way.
Oh, Uncle G, how did you meet a ghetto thing? And how did you swallow the hook?
Hey, as worldly as I thought I was as worldly as I was not. Uh, like Belle Biv DeVoe said before, never trust a big butt and a smile.
Oh,
I got caught up in the whirlwind, got played close to the vest. There's no hate in the heart. It's just a lesson learned.
uh, you sound like it was a humbling experience there, bro.
Very humbling, very humbling. But it taught me to look in the mirror. And sometimes you gotta, just like little kids get their hands burned on the stove when you tell them no, no, no. I had a bunch of people telling me no, 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 but I had to get burned on my own to get that lesson down pat.
Uh, well, bro, you said you had a birthday coming up. I
Yes, I
don't
do.
think you look too young to be going down the road of thought love.
Yeah, well, I was married for 100 years, and I had messed that up, and just you know, I was married from the time I was a teenager until I was in my early 40s. So once I
Yeah,
got out there, I had to learn by doing. I didn't learn by listening. I always learned by doing. So I did, and I learned. And I
you say you were married since you were a teenager.
was married since I was 18. Got divorced when I was like 42, 43. And started trying to do everything that I thought I wanted to do.
Okay, most of us are getting ready to graduate high school, go to college,
Uh-huh.
get ready for the military.
That's what I did. Joined the military,
Scary.
got married, joined the military straight out of high school.
Uh-huh.
Took that woman with me everywhere.
Wow. So in essence, you didn't have a chance to grow up to be a man. You just went right from school to honeymoon.
Well, I
Boy,
was a man. I was a man. My I had my first kid 2 weeks after I graduated from high school.
whoa, Big Uncle G, hold on, bro.
Yes,
You
sir.
moving too quick in the story now, man.
Look, I'm answering how you're asking. Look,
Lord Jesus.
look. I left DC in 1979, end of 79, joined the military. My daughter was already here. Came back, married her mother, and then took her mother to my first duty station. Took her with me. I didn't want my kid to not be without her daddy. So I married her mother. I got married too young. You know, we were kids. Uh, and learned a lot about being a man, a father, a husband, all that. And along the way, I stumbled, you know,
Now,
messed up.
you 18,
Yeah.
just got the American privilege to vote.
Yeah.
A high school diploma probably still in the mail, marriage certificate. You got a
Mhm.
brand new baby. That's kind of a lot all at one time there, man.
Yeah. And it was fun too.
Lord,
It was fun. I had a good time. First couple of years of the marriage, man, it was all honeymoon. You know, I was stationed in California. Went from California to Mississippi, from Mississippi to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to Osan, Korea. From Korea, I went to Okinawa. From Okinawa, I went to Alaska. From Alaska, I went to Virginia. and that was my last duty station, and that's where I did my most stupid stuff. Uh, you start smelling yourself, you start thinking that you missed something, got little youngins hitting on you, and I blinked,
Uh-huh.
blinked, cheated on my lady,
Oh,
and cheated on my lady with something that wasn't even as good as what I had at home, and that's usually what happens, you know.
okay. So, what were you? Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, National Guard,
Air Force.
Air? Oh, okay. So you were guarding or fixing or doing something with the planes.
I was working aircraft. I was working aircraft maintenance. Then I switched over into electronic intelligence.
Okay, good. Sound now. Electronic intelligence. Now, Brother Eugene, in our, pre-show conversations, we were, talking about some of the young brothers and sisters that walk around and, need some guidance and some direction. And would you be an advocate for having them sign up for military service? Just for, or why would you if you would?
I mean, if a kid is coming straight out of high school and they're not doing anything, they don't have any direction. The military is not bad, depending on the branch of the service. I wouldn't recommend the Marines. I wouldn't recommend the Marines at all unless you're going to be an officer. All the other branches, I would definitely recommend: Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, all that. Marines, I grew up around Marines. I grew up around the Marine Honor Guard, which was about 3 blocks from where I grew up at. Them youngins are kind of out there. Marines are brainwashed.
Uh-huh.
So the only smart Marines I met was when I retired that I worked with in Intel and NSA and other DOD agencies, but they were old and retired. Uh, or they were high-ranking officers. But
All right.
them young boys they put out there, a lot of them heads messed up.
Well,
But now I'm like, now you got the schools that are already teaching the kids industrial IT and stuff like that, where they can get out of school and start making money and take care of themselves. So I would probably advocate that route. The military would probably be a last resort. You're not
last,
going to college, if you don't have a trade prior to getting out of high school, then you can go in the military. But I would go in the military to learn a trade to get out. You know, very few. You know, I made the military career, but that's because I had a family.
oh, so you did the long 20.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I had kids working for me when they were in. I was recommending, man, learn this stuff and get out because we had clearances, so they could get out and make close to 6 figures after 4 years in the military.
Okay.
If you have certain skill sets, yes, you can get out quick and make that money.
Now, in your career, sound like you hit several locations on the planet. So you are a world traveler.
Yeah, and
Tell some of the brothers what it's like to partake of the full globe. Because, we got some brothers down here. They don't even cross 8 miles because they got bold driver's license. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
So,
know it was the same way where I grew up. I had friends out in Baltimore that never the furthest they went from Baltimore was DC or Maryland or maybe Virginia. And they act like they went somewhere.
uh,
I would definitely advocate that you see the world. All of my children have been to Africa.
okay. Which country?
Ghana.
Been to Ghana, the motherland. Okay.
Yeah. The military, for me, the military really, did a thing for my kids. My daughters have been to more countries than I have. But my ex-wife made sure that all my kids went to Africa.
Hmm.
So
Now, do you recall the experience
of what?
being,
Traveling?
being on the continent?
I've never been to Africa. I've never been.
Okay,
But
okay.
my kids have.
Where have you been in the world?
I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to the Philippines, I've been to Korea, been to Germany. Um, like I said, Okinawa, Japan. I've been to Japan, uh, and Jamaica. Uh, been to the Panama Canal, and that was something I did that on a cruise. That was really, really interesting. The actual cruise ship went through the canal,
Uh-huh.
so I got to see that. And that was before, I think that was before we gave the canal back to the Panamanians. This is like in the early '90s.
And so, all of these were within your military capacity, right?
Well, some was in my military capacity. I went to Korea. I was stationed in Korea, but then I actually went to work in Korea as a contractor a couple of times after I retired from the military.
Okay. So, you experienced the Asian nations.
Oh
What,
yeah.
what is that interaction with the brothers?
Well, I mean, in parts of Korea, uh, they look at us different. I have a young man over there. I call him my nephew. He left the States years ago. He's lived in Korea for like 10 years, and he has no intentions of coming back. He came back for a short stint, but then he went back to Korea. His wife's Korean. He has a little 5-year-old son.
Oh, he
And
loved the local cuisine, huh?
oh, it's a lot of expats. That's like I got friend I got friends that are looking to move to Panama. They've been to Panama, they love it. You know, the folks kind of uh, they like us. The economy is not real expensive, and the weather's not bad.
Bruh, anything south of Cleveland right now is better than Detroit. You hear me?
Oh, believe me,
It's kind of hard to stay brown when
yeah,
it's 30 degrees.
this cold weather here is really beating down my little 60-year-old bones.
Woo! Now, you were married for, what is that,
20,
30
24
years?
years, 24 years.
24 years. Bruh, in today's society, you'd be glad if you can get 5 years.
Well, if I wasn't an idiot, I'd still be married.
Well, do tell. What was the cause of your idiocy?
Uh,
Doing?
uh, my little friend had a mind of his own, and I was working. I was working at a call center. And a bunch of little young females there, uh, and one made me blink. And when I blinked, I did what I did. I immediately regretted it, but I had already done it. So you know how we do. I ended up doing it again.
Now, wait a minute now. Now, you started by saying your friend got a mind of his own.
Yeah.
Are you talking in code or did you have a threesome?
No, I didn't have a threesome. I did. Now I did a threesome when I was a kid, but no, I didn't have a threesome.
Lord Jesus.
Uh,
Okay. So
that's
how did a young thing make a man of the world blink?
like I said, I had been married my whole freaking adult life, and I was getting a lot of attention, you know. Whereas I'm married, I got two teenage daughters and one preteen son at the time, and a little toddler. And so, I'm not getting all the attention that I thought I should be getting at home, but I didn't communicate well, you know. And so, uh, this particular young lady was paying me a lot of attention, and I succumbed to the attention. Then, when I succumbed, I realized what I had done, and so I tried to extricate myself from the situation. And it only got worse. I ended up quitting that job and going to another part-time job, and a young lady followed me to the next job.
Hold on, bro. I got to jump in here real quick. You see my Google bar there?
Yeah.
Okay, you threw something out there. You threw out a non-Negro word, which was extricate.
I tried to look, Mr. Educated. I tried to remove myself from the situation. Okay.
Well, here on the channel, and we want to give our thanks to the brother of Revelations.Unveiled Detroit. He let us come on so we could run our mouth and just kick it and brief a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so, you know what? We want to hate the brothers. We want to expand on the vocabulary. And I just wanted to find out, Brother G said extricate.
See, now you act like
so
my
family, if you want
big words at him.
So here is a word of the day, family. If you ever want to extricate yourself, you will be by definition.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yourself from a constraint or difficulty.
Yes,
all right.
It was a difficulty and a constraint. And a real uncomfortable situation. But what happened was I went to a second job. I quit that job. I got a second job. The young lady followed me to the second job. And it was so stupid because another young lady was hitting on me at the second job. And when she saw this young lady, she says, how do you know her? I said, I used to work with her. And females pick up stuff from females, especially thoughts, no thoughts.
Okay.
So this young lady told me, she said, nah, it's something more going on with y'all. You hit that, didn't you? And I looked at her like, what the fuck? And I couldn't really say nothing. And then this chick was like, well, I'm married, but that don't mean nothing because, you could hit this too. And I'm thinking, oh, shoot, no, I can't have a second situation. So I ended up asking my military job to send me away on a temporary duty assignment. They call them TDYs. So I asked them, they said, where do you want to go? I said, I don't care where y'all send me. Just send me for a couple of months. So instead of sending me overseas, these Bamas sent me to California. And I get to California and we stayed in hotels off the base because they didn't have any bulletin on base for us. And we was working missions on base. So they gave us military vehicles. We would drive from the hotel to the base to work. And so I get to the hotel one night after working a 12-hour shift and the phone is ringing in my hotel room. So I'm thinking it's got to be my wife at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I answer the phone and it's this youngin'. And I'm like, how the hell you get my phone number? She said, oh, I called your job and told them I was your wife and I didn't have your number. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay.
You got a stalker now?
And this was long distance. She was in Virginia. So I'm like, Ma, you can't be calling me. I'm like, we can't do this thing no more. I can't do it. I can't do it. So she had stopped calling me. I'm there for 3 months. During the time I was there, my ex-wife surprised me and flew out with my little boy unexpectedly.
You didn't take your wife with you?
I was on a temporary duty assignment and we had kids, man. We don't take care of family on TDYs.
Gotcha.
So my ex-wife just flew out there and stayed with me for a week, but she didn't tell me she was coming. She was trying to catch me doing something.
Oh.
But she didn't catch me because I wasn't doing nothing. By then I was trying to go on the straight and narrow. But it was too late. It was too late Because what happened was when I got back from the TDY, I went back to the first job because old girl wasn't there. And she showed up at the job, but they wouldn't let her in because she knew my vehicle. And so she came to the job. They said, Gene, somebody's out there for you. I said, well, who is it? I said, because it can't be my wife because I had the car. They said, no, it's old girl. I'm like, tell her I'm not here. But she knew my car, from going to her house and doing what I did. So I
Well,
ended
you know what type of conversations were you and this mystery lady having
What do
for
you
her
mean?
to be? What was her understanding of your status
Man, that
for her
youngin
to
knew. She
know?
knew her role. She knew her role. She was a jump off. She knew it. She had a
No.
boyfriend. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this. Then we gonna leave all that alone and go to something else.
Uh-oh.
So
I'm hearing some sensitivity.
no. I just want to finish the whole story. So this is what happened. So after I came back, she followed me. She came to the job. So I ended up having to go to her house and speak to her. I'm like, look, we can't do this. You know that I'm married. You know I ain't with you. And so what ended up happening is old girl got mad and pressed charges against me. Now I'm active duty military.
Lord Jesus.
Yes. All right. It gets worse. So she presses charges against me. I come to work one day and my first sergeant calls me and says, I got to take you downtown and turn you over to Newport News Police. I said, what's going on? He said, I don't know. We're going to find out when we get there. So I get there and they have 5 warrants out for my arrest.
Okay.
I got charged with assault, sexual assault, verbalizing a threat, and some other stuff. And so the dude, I'll come down there in my uniform. He's like, they say, well, he's not going anywhere. So they just signed me back over and gave me back to my first sergeant. So for a week, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to work this out. So I had to get a lawyer. And so in getting a lawyer, I had to sit down and have a talk with my ex-wife. Let her know what happened. Because by then, she didn't know anything. She suspected, but she had no proof. I had to sit down and tell her what I did. But I also had to sit down with my kids, 3 of them who were teenagers, and 2 of them were young ladies. So I had to tell them that, nigga, you cheated on their mama with a thought. And now you got to go to court because this thought is trying to tear up your house. So it was bad. It was bad, bro. It was bad. So we get a lawyer. We go to court. So when I go to court, I ended up having her ex-boyfriend come to testify on my behalf. So when we get to court, all these people are there. My first sergeant, my ex-wife, old dude who used to mess with old girl. And when she sees everybody there, when they call her name, she doesn't show up. So they throw it out. They do what's called a no pros, like no prosecution, because the defendant didn't show up.
5 felonies or accusations,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't even show up to the case.
Nope. Once she saw that I was there with my ex, my first sergeant, and her ex-boyfriend, she left.
Did you
But
beat her up?
no, I didn't beat her up. I just was. Look, I was 35 at the time, and she was 25.
Oh my God!
And
She
so
was
somebody told me. Yeah, this dude told me. He said, "You know what you did." And some of the females at the job, I had females at the job that was coming at me, and she was the only one I messed with. I had females coming at me like, "Look, see, if you had hit this, I wouldn't have told nobody." All kinds of crazy shit, But hey, usually when you fuck up big. I fucked up big. And the bad part was my ex-wife stayed with me for another 7 years, but it was the worst 7 years of my life. Let me tell you. My daughters wasn't speaking to me. My oldest girl told me at the time, she said, "Daddy, I love you, but if I was mommy, I would leave you." Broke my heart.
Uh, now that was the one you got caught on, right?
I only
So,
I only cheated one time. What do you mean? The one I got caught on? That was it.
oh,
On my
damn.
marriage.
If that was the one time, I see that was a doozy, huh?
Yeah,
Had you all the way up in front of the man
yeah. And
and
that's why I
had to
was
get
up.
a lawyer.
Huh?
You had to get a lawyer.
Had to get a lawyer, man. Had to get a
That's
lawyer twice.
money.
Yeah,
Money. Yeah.
yeah. And so
Now,
my ex stayed with me until I still had another 5 years before I retired from the military. She stayed with me until I retired, and then we separated a year after I retired. After I bought a big ass house and started getting my retirement, then she decided that she wanted a separation and then a divorce. She had been plotting and planning, man. She was just waiting. She's my ex is a beast. I ain't got nothing but respect for that lady. Nothing but respect.
okay. Now, was all that young 25-year-old thought thing worth it?
No, I told you it wasn't worth it. What I had in the bed at home with my ex was way better than her.
In hindsight, as you proclaim, right?
Yep. Right after I hit it, I knew. I was like, all right, this is good. It's new. It's different. She moved different. Okay. But still the same. She was a little small. I could twist her up. I could flip her and all kinds of other bullshit.
Oh,
But it was still the same. I'm sorry if we can't use. I
you
can't.
can
No.
no, you flipped her up. She got that boing. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I could flip her around all kinds of stuff, man. She had a little skill, but she still, what I had at home, what I had at home was better.
All
She
right,
was
and then
she was just different. I messed that up. But my ex stayed with me, like I said, until a year after I retired. Then she hit me like Mike Tyson.
so it wasn't so much so you didn't like your ex. It's
Nah,
just
what happened?
that
What that was communication and immaturity. You know, I didn't communicate well, and I was immature, and I was a little insecure. And like I said, I had a whole bunch of little youngins coming at me. And but I had females coming at me for years and I didn't blink. But my resistance was low. My I was I was immature, dog. I was immature and insecure. When I was on my steez, couldn't nobody come in between me and my ex. And I had badass women trying to come at me. I had a woman I had a crush on the whole year in Korea. I had a crush on this female. I didn't even know she liked me. I used to stutter when I seen her because I couldn't speak to her. And she had the Bama's on the base basketball team was on her. And I didn't know one of my boys worked for her. And so when I went to his office to holler at him one day when I was leaving, he said, "My boss want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Your boss?" And he pointed at the female and she waved at me. I said, "Get the fuck out of here."
uh,
Her? I had been crushing on her for 7 months.
and she was a higher level soldier.
Yeah, she outranked me, and she worked in another. She worked in another area on the base. I would always see her, and and put my head down because she was a monster, man. She was it on the yard. She'd be walking on the yard in her uniform, and Bama's would stop moving. And so I'm thinking this female ain't thinking about me. And so, you know, when dude told me my boss wanted to talk to you, I didn't know what she wanted to talk to me about. So I went over there. I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She introduced herself to me. She started talking all this. She started hitting on me right then and there, telling me straight up, "I done seen you in the yard. I think this, and this, and la 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 la. I would love to get to know you." And I was like, I was so into my ex at the time. I was like, and I was real honest with her. I said, "Slim, you probably seen me on the yard. I seen you for sure. I done had a crush on you since I seen you, but I'm married. And I just don't get down like that. I think that would be disrespecting you and my lady." I'm like, because if I was at you, I want to be all at you. And I'm thinking, man, if I messed up anytime, I should have done it then.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you were speaking about immaturity, now you 35, so it ain't like you don't know.
No, I knew what I was doing was wrong, but what I'm saying was I was immature in my communication skills with my ex at the time. You know, I fully didn't know how to communicate, honestly and openly, even though we had been married all that time, because we got married as children.
What was it you would have communicated?
Shit, I don't know. Look, I need you. I need this. I need whatever. Shit, we got kids, but damn it, I need you too, baby.
But
I need you to make me feel like Holly Berry said. Look, I needed her to sometimes make me feel like Holly Berry said, make me feel good. So I could go back to war. But we had teenagers. And teenagers take a lot out of you. You had teenagers.
And then it ain't like you could run off. Okay. It's one thing when your lady is just your lady.
But that was my wife.
But when she dropped them babies, she ain't your lady no more. She's somebody's mama.
Yeah. And like I said, that's why I said immature. I wasn't picking up on some stuff. I was working like a fucking Hebrew slave in the military. And then we had teenagers. And then we got this little young baby that we were adopting. And I'm busting my ass and I'm feeling like I'm not getting what I needed. And so instead of communicating well, and then I got all these hoes in my ear, nigga. I got all these little youngins that went to Hampton University because I was stationed in Hampton.
Ooh, okay.
So I got all these little youngins working this little job, going to Hampton University, all these little young jigglies, and some older females, but they was younger than me, giving me undue attention, and I just didn't handle it well. What do you want from a brother? What you really want from a brother?
Well, you know what? I'm going to throw out the respect for your honesty and insight.
And see, a lot of men. You know what? That gets me in trouble now for being so honest. Folks don't know how to handle that, and then you get other attention for being honest. It's weird. It's crazy.
Now, your ex-wife, you acknowledge you messed that up, right?
Oh, I totally messed that up. My kids will tell you, Daddy, you messed that up.
Now, so after you said she plotted or whatever, or waited for you to retire, and she made her move.
Dog, she not only made a move, I left that marriage with a blow-up bed and my clothes. You hear me?
You say just the blow-up bed in your clothes.
That's it, my nigga. That's it. That woman hit me for $3,500 a month. At one point, she was getting $4,000 a month, and she was supposed to get the $3,000 a month for life. You hear me? Life. Like the movie Life. At one point, I owed this woman $250,000. I was that far behind. You don't feel my pain? Don't nobody feel my pain.
Bro, anyway. Yeah. Who was her lawyer? Johnny Cochran?
Her lawyer was this little white female that had been married to an officer. She was do you know her lawyer, after they hit me up, her lawyer walked up to me and shook my hand and whispered in my ear saying, "You better not file for bankruptcy." Sent a shiver up my spine, little blonde white monster.
She scared you?
Bruh, I was looking over my shoulder for weeks.
Little blind mama scared that man.
Scared the Jesus out of me. Do you know? Look, my ex could have had me in jail when I was in the hospital for 4 months after I got spinal surgery. This woman came to the hospital to see me, but I think the only reason why she came to see me was because since I was on disability, she was not getting her spousal support.
Oh.
And so she whispered in my ear, you know, I ain't got no money in a while. And she was making way more money than me. Still is. And so I wrote her a check at the hospital for $6,000. She came back 3 days later, but I need some more money. I said, I ain't got it like that now. What's wrong with you? So what did she do? She called the state. And after I got out the hospital, I went to pay my bills one day. And I had moved some money. I had $12,000 in the bank. They cleaned my bank account out and put it $12,000 in arrears on top of that.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing like a woman scorn, my brother. And the female
that would sound like.
Look, and the other funky part about it, the female that I was dating was from Detroit too at this time, and her only thing to me was, "What about me?" I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? What about you? I ain't married to you. I was married to this woman for 24 years. She getting what she getting because that's what she getting. You know about what about you, man? I'm telling you, you don't feel my pain, brother. You don't feel my pain."
Yeah, that's the pain you only wish for, like your best enemy.
Man, look here. When I filed for bankruptcy, I owed her $265,000. The bankruptcy didn't touch that because you got to get that to her regardless. So my daughters went to her and said, "Mama, leave Daddy alone." That's the only reason why she forgave it. And
what did the bankruptcy do for you then?
The bankruptcy helped me with other stuff because I had lost my job, I had lost my clearance, so I wasn't. I went from making $100,000 a year, about $12,000 a month, to $300-400 a month unemployment. So yeah,
Ooh.
I had to file bankruptcy.
Woo.
Yeah, you don't understand, bro. You don't understand. I done been to the mountaintop and I done been down at the bottom of the mountain, and I'm still here. I'm still here. You understand?
Now, did you leave the military out of necessity? You was just tired?
I retired. I retired. I went to make money. I had kids in college. And so when I got out the military, I was making bank.
Okay.
And that's how she was able to get the money she got from me when we divorced initially.
Plus all the years y'all did stay together.
Yeah, so she still gets half my retirement, my military retirement. So she gets that, but she don't get no spousal support or nothing. She don't hit me for that no more. She stopped. And I was like, "God bless you, woman. You're an angel."
She's getting half of your military benefits.
For life, man. She get half my military retirement, but she was supposed to get half my military retirement and $3,000 a month. Oh, she was cleaning up, dog. She was cleaning up. Wasn't shit I could say.
Okay. Wow. All right. Big Uncle G.
Yeah.
You have started us off in our wonderful series of, some kind of way we gonna help somebody, if no other than ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes, sir. I feel you.
you got my antennas raised up and dealing with these little young things out here in the street. And, it seems like they
what
make
I
that
learned is, bruh, I love who love me. And most of the females that like me are a lot younger than me. I don't understand that most of the females I deal with are at least 10 years and more younger than me. And It's not the age, it's the caliber of the female. I just have to make sure who I'm dealing with, what they're made of. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so when you say thought, are you actually saying thought?
Yes,
Or
I'm actually saying thought, because this young, I got bamboozled, I got hoodwinked, I got led astray, and I wasn't privy to the game, because I hadn't been out there. I've been married my whole life, and so I was dealing with one female that was about something, that had some
uh-huh,
substance and some character to her,
uh-huh.
and I just got thrown to the wolves. I was lonely,
Okay. You from DC, as you told us when you started out.
Yes, sir. From DC.
What type of game, feminine wiles, round hips and thighs, got you to leave the District of Columbia?
You seen a picture of that thought?
Well, you got to tell the family what the mystery and the magic was to get a man of the military.
Somebody, look, anybody can get anybody when they telling you everything you want to hear and doing everything you want to do.
What was she telling you, Uncle G?
What wasn't she telling me? I love you. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna treat you like a king. I'm gonna do it any way you want. And she was.
So she would come
Played me
see.
like a flute.
She would come see you before you move.
Oh yeah, we was doing back and forth. I would fly out here, she would fly down there. She come down there and stay for the weekend. And if we wasn't going nowhere, the uniform of the day was t-shirt and no panties on. She talking
That's a
about?
good uniform. Yeah.
Yes, that was the working uniform. If we not going out, then every little step you take, like Bobby Brown said, is right around here in a t-shirt and no panties. Easy
Okay.
access. Anything I wanted, I got. She was cooking, she was loving, she was giving me everything, but she was probably, when she left, she's probably doing that for somebody else. When I came
Well,
up
how
here,
did you meet her in DC? Did you got family here or?
no, I met her through her people because I used to date her people.
Wait, oh Lord.
Yeah. Hey, look, I was all about the family. The first one that I dated was back in Maryland. She was from the D too. They was cousins. They first cousins. Yeah. I left that love in the family.
Oh my God.
That's a whole nother story though.
That's the story.
Man, look, I'm gonna be having to hide, man. I'm gonna
Oh,
have to hide.
you had
You gonna have a hit squad out on me in the D, man.
a
No.
transition. So you with El Cuzzo over here. You
No,
know,
see, look, that's a whole nother story. That's look, we're gonna have a table and do that story. That whole thing is like a series. I can't even do that in a couple of minutes.
and family.
Yeah.
As you see, Big
And
Uncle G.
look, the family love me except for them two females.
Okay. Now, let me ask this.
Yeah.
Do you have a thought? Orbital gravity.
Well, the other cousin wasn't really a thought.
Okay.
She was just in fact, I met her, she was active duty military and I was retired.
Okay.
She just had I don't know if I would call her a thought or thoughtish ways. But she was educated. In fact, she has 2 master's degrees.
Well, is there a intellectual limit on a thought?
I don't know. I don't know because the other one, I think got a cute community college degree, but this one got 2 masters and then some. But she was
You
on
know
some.
what?
She
That's
was
a
on some.
side note. Just so I don't digress, right? When you say
Yeah.
thought, I'm thinking of a behavior, like they
Yes, behavior,
right?
how they carry themselves. How
But here's my example.
they basically like horse dudes.
Okay. When I think of a thought of a high intellectual capacity, the first person that came to my mind was Hillary Clinton.
Well, I don't consider her a thought. I consider her just doofus.
You know, for some odd reason, I think if Hillary got in the room with her brother, she would severely molest him. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? I just think she got that energy about her. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, go back to what you were saying.
Man, you done thrown me completely off. Anyway, the cousin,
Hillary.
the cousin that was in the military, you know, you could tell that she was damaged. The whole family's damaged. But you could tell that this one was damaged, but I didn't know until after I had been with her for years. And then when I had my physical issue, she wasn't there. And her cousin was calling me every day while I was in the hospital. That's how me and her got close. But she wasn't about nothing. But I didn't know. I'm in a vulnerable state. Easy to manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I allowed myself to be manipulated, you know, and then when we was hanging out, I mean, you know, she was giving me everything I wanted, how I wanted it, until she figured out she had me, and then she played me. Then I moved here and found out it was all smoke and mirrors. But it was too late. I had already moved, left my family and everything.
It wouldn't have been a better deal for her to come stay with you.
It would have been, but she had family here and some other things, and I was going to come here and then we were going to leave. But that didn't happen. I came here and found out why she couldn't come.
Okay.
So,
now, on this piece here, what was it that you identify as that reason? How long did it take?
It took me a few months to find out she was straight for the streets and she had an issue with substance.
Straight for the streets and a partaker of the questionable substances. Okay. Now, how old was this this lady?
Younger than me.
Yourself.
Huh? She about 15 years younger than me.
Bro, what is with you and these?
Look, this is what, I'm some females like older dudes. Her cousin was 10 years younger than me, or a little bit less than 10. It ain't, look, I can't help who like me.
You can help who you like.
Yes, I can help who I like, but I can't help who like me. That's why I said, you know, I have to make sure whoever likes me is an acceptable caliber of fucking female, not their age.
Okay, got it. Now, what does being for the streets mean for a chick?
It means just what I said, for the street. The straight for the street.
So what was she
into? She is for the streets, a little drug. She into the drug boys.
Okay, so you weren't picking up none of these signs while you were.
Look, if I had picked up the signs, I wouldn't have came here.
Okay. Because you making her sound like she Queen Pimp now.
Look, she was Queen Pimp to me because I didn't see it. Other folks saw it because I wasn't. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm a nigga, but I'm not a street nigga. So there's a lot of shit that I just didn't pick up. Because whenever she was with me, I got the representative and not the real motherfucker. And then when I because when you seeing somebody for a couple of days, it's one thing. But when you move and you seeing them every day, they can't hide who the fuck they are.
Was you cashing her out?
Initially, because I bought her a ring, dog. What you talking about? I bought a ring. I was gonna marry this chick.
You proposed?
What did I said I bought a ring. I gave it to her.
Ooh.
That's
Okay,
why I
okay,
said
okay.
lessons. Lessons. I have a nephew that has a song called Thought. I've been trying to find it because we're gonna play it on the next episode. And
You
as soon
get
as I
that and
find
you have it ready. Okay, now you in the D. You done left DC in
it.
a foreign land because you know I understand. Being here in the D is quite an experience.
Yeah, but see, my thing is I could be anywhere because I've been all over the world. And I got family from, I got hood family. They just not from Detroit. So I can
Oh,
I can assimilate anywhere and be comfortable anywhere. Don't mean that I want to live in the hood. And that was the one thing that I seen about old girl. I'm not from here, and she didn't even want to come hang out where I live, which is in Clinton Township. I could come down there easily. I'm not worried about nobody bothering me because of the way I move. I don't move fucked up. I don't do fuck boy shit. So I don't worry about nobody coming at me. In fact, when I moved here, I had a dude that I met that was like ended up being like family. He owned a barbershop and a what do you own? And an MMA fight club. And he told me anytime I want to go anywhere, let him know. But then he got murdered.
oh, and on another note,
See
wow.
there, I'm telling you, man, life is a mug, and I'm not even from here and have experienced so much craziness here. Here.
Okay, okay.
See, I'm
Now,
trying to told you, man. I'm trying to told you. Your uncle ain't, you know. I
okay.
have learned. I have learned so much in 5 years. This has been an education like a mother.
And when did you call it a wrap?
I called it a wrap a couple of years ago, but I needed to get my paper up so I can make a move.
Okay. Now, was she okay with that, or how did that reconcile?
Was who okay? What is she gonna be okay with? Who gives a damn about what she think? She ain't give a damn. She ain't give a damn about me when she was letting niggas run through her
Oh my
and play,
God, Uncle
and
Joe.
and playing me like a dum dum. I got dudes I'm meeting that I know is running through her.
Oh,
See,
you
once
had
you
a
see, yeah,
community.
bro. That's why I can say what I say and do what I do. You
Yeah.
know, you can't tell me nothing, and I've been cool about it. I'm not mad because after I found out about anything, for me to even be dealing with her on any level was a decision I made. So, you know, you can't, how my man say, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You can't turn a thought into a woman. She's a female. That's not a woman in my eyes. A woman is here. A female is here. A thought is lower. You know,
Okay.
and I don't have nothing against her. If that's what she wants to be, then God bless her. Thought on, my sister. Just not with me.
Are you? Would you say you were jaded from the experience?
I would say that I have become more cautious because of the experience. I'm not going to let nobody change me because I'm a giving, pleasing individual. That's who I am. I'm 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 a romantic. I'm a lover. But, this has caused me to be very careful because I have a lot of love to give, but I don't have a lot of time to do it. So I can't waste my time. My time is very precious. And so anybody that I choose to give my time with after I feel like I've wasted so much time, I'm careful. I'm a lot more careful.
All right, and you feeling now after that little Jumanji type of an adventure that you can extend yourself in that capacity?
Easily, easily.
You ready to
Because
get home, huh?
huh?
You ready to get them back home?
No, I'm just ready to live. Life is about living, loving, learning, and laughing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to do all that in the time I got left because I don't know how much time I got left. In the last 2 years, man, I've seen a lot of people leave me, and all of them are younger than me, dog.
Ooh.
And so
Okay. So
my
now we
thing now,
down.
my thing now is I love who love me. I like who like me. Um, but I'm very careful in who I share myself with, you know, and who I give my time to. Very careful,
Good
very
deal.
cautious.
Good
Ain't got
deal.
time to play.
And guess what?
What?
Family. You
Yes,
see
love my
how
family. Look,
time flies.
yes, my
When
babies
we
love
are.
their daddy. My daughters who wouldn't talk to me for years, love their father. My oldest baby got low jack on my phone. She knows where I'm at all times.
And so this was our introduction to the life and the lessons of Big Uncle G. Big Uncle G, we're going to dive back into life and love. And then you're going to tell us about fatherhood
Oh,
when we
Jesus.
get ready to put together our next agenda. And as you see, our freestyle form and fashion has already eclipsed the 1 hour mark.
Oh, wow.
So we have given the family the savor of your flavor, the maliciousness and variety of your voice, and the scheme, the scams, and the scars of our humanity. We will proceed. We will continue. We will persevere. Big brother Uncle G, you have any
Mhm.
closing remarks for the family, or you want to let them know what's up and coming? Because I'm thinking we need to speak at least once a week. What say you?
I say that makes sense, my brother.
What you want the world to know before we start this wonderful weekend and we get on the hunt for humanity and a few dollars here and there, maybe a
Man,
little honey for the bees.
folks need to know that time is of the essence. As you can see how the world is today, you ain't got time to play. You better love who love you right now and let them know. Give them their flowers today because tomorrow ain't promised.
Well said, family. Well deserved to you. We gonna wrap it up like a nice fat one. We gonna light
Oh,
it
shoot.
and we gonna inhale the wonderful incense of infinity.
Yes.
We thank you, family of Detroit, and all who come across this vibe. This is Brother Incognegro sharing the stage with Big Uncle G, who will be coming back with life, laughter, and love so we can continue in our growth in manhood, in spirituality, and one day, fam, us little struggling souls, we gonna get something together. So y'all come on back and be with us. We love y'all. And just so we are clear on what goes on in the world, Revelations. And until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. To be continued. Revelations.Unveiled.Detroit.
That's what's up.